the show.
Hey yo, so this is a late Friday challenge video. As I've done before, Alan does these Friday challenges, and I try to complete them when I can. Like if I have something that I could contribute or an idea that I think works, and it's kind of what this is going to be. So this past Friday, the idea was to show 10 first appearances of a hero, a good guy, specifically good guy, good like male good guy characters. And so yeah, I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't know that I have like 10 first appearances of like real good guys, but maybe I have 10 first appearances or 10 first full appearances or something comparable to 10 good guys, like the anti-hero types, the ones that you're cheering for, but even though they might not be the best guy. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show 10 comics where it's someone who, or maybe they didn't start off as a good guy, or maybe it's ambiguous if they're good or bad, or it's up to the kind of the reader to determine this. So let's kind of start off, and kind of the first good guy first appearance I have is Spotlight 2 for Werewolf by Night, the first Werewolf by Night. Again, I think it's a character everybody cheers for, and the story was told, I think, where he kind of becomes like this good-ish murderous figure that's, kind of fighting against the forces of darkness and stuff. So I think that fits. And while we're at it, how about a Werewolf by Night number 32? So first, Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight definitely qualifies as a good guy. Early on, he was done a lot more like Batman, and then he's kind of changed over time. Whereas now, I don't think it's ambiguous anymore. But early on, maybe it was. But yeah, Moon Knight. Then I think one that's clearly ambiguous, but one of most of our favorite characters. I think a lot of us, when we're thinking of like favorite characters in Marvel, I think one of the most interesting and certainly ambiguous as far as good guy goes, Spotlight 5, first Ghost Rider. I think most of the time he's told from the angle of a good guy or a good-ish guy, but not always, and certainly takes pleasure in tormenting the guilty. So that's kind of a good one. The next one is one where I don't have his first appearance, but this is the first appearance in the character's own story. So this is Adventure into Fear, or Fear, number 10, Man-Thing. Again, ambiguous if Man-Thing's really a good guy or not. But again, from the perspective, the stories are usually told. I think most people would say good-ish, noble intent kind of a character. Then, first full appearance. I know. I can't do it, guys. Don't do the thing. Don't do the thing you're gonna do. Okay, the do the thing. Actually, $2.99. Let's just not do the thing. Okay, but first full. I'm qualifying it. I did it. Full appearance of Venom, ASM 300, and Venom certainly started off as a bad guy, but over the years has trended to more of a heroic kind of a figure, I guess. Not always, but certainly not what he started off as, and I think has Yeah, I think the throughout, later stories, he has better intentions than he first started off with. Then I have a couple, and they are from one of my favorite artists, and they're kind of similar, so I'll kind of show them together. But Tim Vigil did the series Faust, one of my favorite series from the '90s. It's very '90s. It's like it's drawn very '90s, but it's also like super gory, and it's a character who is a horror superhero and is way more ambiguous than a lot of these, psychopathic and absolute murderer and these kind of things. But Faust and Grips, they're so Grips from the late '80s kind of is almost like the predecessor to what Faust became in the early '90s. Again, almost kind of psychopathic, vigilante kind of thing for Grips, with these blades on, similar to like Wolverine on his hands. Faust, vigilante, bordering on demonic, psychopath, and yeah, it certainly has a lot of evil references. Both of them, are vigilantes wanting to punish the guilty, but yeah, not not in any way that a normal thinking person would. But yeah, if you like that kind of a thing, especially if you like Faust is clearly like a deranged horror superhero kind of stuff. Yeah, with like an occult kind of bend to it too. It's weird and it's gory and it's graphic and crazy and stuff that a lot of us kind of like in some of our weirder comic books. Then is another one who I think most of us would categorize as good, but has done things that have upset a lot of people in the DC universe and stuff. And I don't have his first appearance. His first appearance is very, very prohibitively expensive, but I do have his first Silver Age appearance, and it's a Spectre, one of my favorite characters. And yeah, there's a certain thing to the way the Spectre behaves sometimes, where his overall goal and purpose is good, but yeah, I mean, he can do things that a lot of heroes don't really like that much. Later on, I think early on in Golden Age, it was clear he was a hero. But yeah, this type of debatable what he's doing, and if it's really going to help, or sometimes where he doesn't help, where he probably could. But yeah, Spectre, fascinating character, kind of Wrath of God kind of character that I think qualifies in what I'm doing here. And the next is it, it it's kind of stretching what his first appearance is, maybe, but I I don't know where my Tech 27 went. It's probably in some box somewhere. Who cares? I'll find it eventually. But it's technically this is a version of Batman that's like a possible future reality, and Dark Knight Returns #1. So really, the first of the Dark Knight, the future self of Batman. This one's signed by Frank Miller, and yeah, one of those benchmark stories in comic books that kind of changed the way comic books were done. Like it was a totally novel thing to like jump way ahead in the future and just start talking about this like possibility of like an older and kind of damaged Batman, damaged both like psychologically. Well, he always was, but even more so damaged psychologically and physically, like a heart condition and everything. It was interesting and crazy, and I loved it. I remember reading it as a kid, and it blew me away. I had it was the best comic I had ever read at that time. And then I think like when you're talking about this type of character, the anti-hero, the morally ambiguous, the is he really a good guy kind of a thing. I think the one that kind of like it fits the description more than any other, and the guy you're going to think of immediately when you think of that type of character, the first Punisher, ASM 129. So anyway, that's my contribution to the Friday challenge. Gonna tag for the Friday challenge in this, and yeah, if you're interested in doing these, tune into Alan's channel, Comic Collector Geek, and every Friday he puts out a top 10 challenge, and you contribute, and anybody who's watching these will usually tune in and see them. So anyway, that's all I had for now. Just gonna put this out. I'm just doing this on my lunch break here. Yeah, please subscribe. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you can. This will be a short one. I hope you're doing well. Hope all the people in your life are doing well. And yeah, hope your week's going well. That's it for now. Bye, buddies.